நேற்று ராகுல் பெங்களூரிலிருந்து தனது தோழி பிரியாவுக்கு அழைத்து
I gave the exact same Tamil audio clip to two of the most popular speech-to-text engines out there. On this one clip in my test, one returned an empty result, 0%, and the other transcribed it almost perfectly, around 99. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, that gap has a very specific, very fair explanation, and I'll get to it. This isn't one is good, one is bad. It's about what each tool is built for. What I want to do today is just show you the data, real numbers across 10 Indian languages in both file upload and live streaming mode, plus the cost in dollars and rupees. I actually ran the audio myself. Same files, same scoring, same code for both. Quick disclaimer upfront. These are my results on my samples. This is my interpretation and I could be wrong. So treat it as a starting point and run your own test. Let's get into it. If you're building anything with voice in India, a call center bot, a voice assistant, IVR, meeting notes, the STT engine you pick affects two things: accuracy and cost. So instead of guessing, I built a small reproducible benchmark to look at both. Deepgram and Sarvam AI are both excellent, serious tools. They're just built with different priorities, and that's really what this video is about. I'm not here to crown a winner for everyone. I'm here to share data so you can decide for your use case. Here's the test. 10 sentences, 10 languages. English, Hindi, Marathi, Tamil, and few others. Real human speech. 33 to 48 seconds each. I ran every clip through two modes. The way you'd actually use these in production: file upload, batch. Deepgram Nova 2 and Nova 3, Sarvam Saarika v2.5 and Saaras v3. Live streaming: Deepgram Flux plus Sarvam Saarika and Saaras. For streaming, I don't just upload the file. I replay it into the live WebSocket at real-time pace, 100 milliseconds at a time, so the engine sees it like a live mic. But it's reproducible, same audio every run. For scoring, I use two metrics, not one: WER, word error rate; CER, character error rate. CER matters a lot for Indian scripts because a word can be validly spelled more than one way. Character level is the fairer judge. And before scoring, I normalize everything. Unicode-normalize, strip punctuation, fold native digits. So 15 becomes 15. So nothing gets penalized for formatting instead of real errors. Both engines get the same reference, the same normalization, the same code. And everything runs in auto-detect language mode. I never tell the engine the language, just like a real multilingual product. I'm trying to be even-handed to both sides. And again, this is one setup, my setup. A different test could land differently. Now let's see the result. This is combined accuracy, the average of both word and character accuracy. English, both are excellent. Deepgram around 94, Sarvam 98 to 99. So clearly Deepgram is a strong engine. Hold on to that. Hindi. Deepgram lands in the high 50s to low 60s. Sarvam 94 to 99. For Hindi, Deepgram gave few words in English, so its actual accuracy is a bit more. But the major issue with Deepgram for Indian accents is noun. Like Indian names, Indian entities, like cities names, college names, etc. Marathi. Deepgram in the 30s, 27 and 39. Sarvam stays in the 90s. And then there's a clear step down. On Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Punjabi, Bengali, Gujarati and Kannada, Deepgram's models returned essentially nothing in my test. 0. Sarvam stayed between 91 and 99 across all of them. I want to be careful here. A 0 like that almost always points to a language coverage reason, not a quality problem. And I'll explain exactly what I mean in a second. Now streaming, where voice agents live. Deepgram Flux comes in around 77, a bit lower than batch, which makes sense. Streaming is a harder problem. Sarvam stays 98.99. Flux around 57. Sarvam Saarika near 100. And the same pattern on the other 7 languages. Very low for Flux in my test, 92 to 98 for Sarvam. Consistent with the batch story. So why the gap? Here's my understanding. And this is the important context. Those low scores are almost certainly about language support, not engineering quality. Deepgram's models are, as far as I can tell, focused on English and a set of mostly European languages. That's where they shine, and 94% on English shows it. Sarvam is built India first. Saarika and Saaras are designed specifically for Indian languages and accents. So the honest framing is right tool for the job, not better or worse. Both are doing well at what they were built to do. If I'm wrong about any of this, or coverage has changed by the time you're watching, I genuinely love a correction in the comments. AP is move fast. Accuracy is half the picture. Let's look at cost. Dollars and rupees. At today's rate, $1 is about 94 rupees 51. Rates change, so check current pricing. This is just a snapshot. Sarvam is simple. 30 rupees an hour, flat. Every model, file or streaming. That's roughly 33 US cents an hour. Deepgram on their growth plan. Nova 2 is about 29 cents an hour. Nova 3 about 47. Flux about 41. Here's a nuance I found interesting. On pure rate, Deepgram's Nova 2 is actually a touch cheaper than Sarvam, 29 cents versus 33. The thing to keep in mind is that the cheapest rate only helps if the model fits your languages. So the right way to read this is cost for your use case, not cost in isolation. For English, that Nova 2 rate is very attractive. For the Indian languages in my test, Sarvam's flat 30 rupees an hour is both predictable and in my results accurate. और उस practical detail की अगर process कर ले short clips, in my reading of their pricing, both bill per second, not per minute. Upload a 30-second clip and you pay for 30 seconds, not a rounded up minute. And neither lists a per request minimum. Always double check on your own plan, but that's how it reads today. Scaling up. Say 1,000 hours of audio a month. Sarvam, how? So my take, and it's just that, my take, for the languages and conditions I tested. If you're English only or global, Deepgram looked excellent in my test. Strong English, mature ecosystem, very competitive pricing. If you're working with Indian languages, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Bengali and so on, or code mixed English, Sarvam was the stronger fit in my results, with predictable rupee pricing and solid batch and streaming accuracy. That's the framework I'd use. But you know your audio and your users better than I do. So weigh it for your own case. Everything you saw, the benchmark, the per language scores, the cost sheet in dollars and rupees, I built from scratch. And I'm happy to walk through the code in a part 2. If you'd want round 2 to be noisy real world audio, latency or English code mixing, tell me in the comments. And if you disagree with anything here, seriously, I'd love to hear it. This is my read, not gospel. If this was useful, subscribe. See you in the next one.